All right, guys. Thank you for joining us today. Sorry for running late. I actually screwed this up. I gave everyone the wrong time. I emailed them to be on at 21:45 my time, which is 9:45, 45 minutes too late. Prepping by Faith pointed it out, and then I scrambled to get everybody else on. So we are missing one guest, Carbon Q. Hopefully, she saw the email. She'll be on soon. If not, I will apologize till I'm blue in the face, and then hopefully we move on from there. But just know it was my fuck up, no one else's. So, with that being said, guys, as you can see tonight, this is an all-female panel minus myself. We have Prepping by Fate, Northern Girl Hobbies, Autumn Backyard Garden, and Morgan from Rogue Preparedness.
Yeah.
Ladies, and everybody on here pretty much knows who you guys are, but you still have to introduce yourself, starting with, let's start with Morgan.
Okay, well, I'm Morgan from Rogue Preparedness. I just talk about prepping and family and survival and whatever else. That's me. Come visit me at Rogue Preparedness on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll plug your link. I'll plug links, girls.
Oh, it's okay. I know it's a lot.
There you go. Autumn, you go. You're next.
Well, hi, everyone. I can't see the chat, so if anybody's in here, hi. I'm Autumn from Autumn's Backyard Garden. My channel is all about prepping, gardening. I do a lot of hot topics and things like that. And yeah, that's me. I've been doing this for, oh my gosh, almost 3 years now. And it was Jason that really got my channel up and running. So
yeah, you did that for a few of us, I think, eh?
Yeah.
Thank you. Northern Girl, you next.
Okay, I'm trying to mod. Okay, I'm Jennifer, Northern Girl Hobbies. I'm 42 years old, turning 43 very soon in September, opening bird hunt season. We do fishing, hunting on the channel, some freedoming stuff. We went to Ottawa and live stream all that. What else do I do? Prepping, foraging, all the fun stuff that happens. And I'm a moderator, so everybody.
Prepping by Fate, Leah, you're up.
First, I want to thank you for having me on tonight. And I also want to say a big thank you to Autumn and Prepper Now for shouting out my channel back when I had a handful of videos and getting me going. So thank you guys. I'm Prepping by Faith. I started my channel about 6 months ago, and I focus on preparing the whole person spiritually, mentally, as well as physically. So I do share some small biblical teaching moments and encourage people in their walk with the Lord. And I also cover a lot of food-related prep, just general preparedness information, personal experiences, and I've recently started hosting live streams on my channel.
Awesome.
Very good. Carbon Q, listen, I apologize for the screw up. That was all on me. So I apologize.
No worries. That's all right. I remember doing.
Well, yeah, introduce yourself.
Carbon Q. I think I'm the newest prepper here, I guess, and a little bit of everything, just starting out. Yeah.
Very good. All right, so let's dive into the real shit that we're here to talk about. I made the panel small, if you will. There are other females I will be bringing on in other live streams. I wanted to keep it small because it's easier to talk to you guys at this number than it is fucking 10 of us and talking over each other. With that being said, starting with let's start with Autumn Backyard Garden. What do you think the rest of this year is going to bring, being that you see what the hell's going on?
Oh my gosh. Well, from what I understand, and this is talking to a lot of community members, talking to my son and talking to my husband, because Andrew, he just got back from California for being at 29 Palms. There's a lot of troops that are being deployed right now to Germany. I think we're going to see a lot more troop movement because I think there's something coming down the pike. and I'm not sure what it is, but I think there's something coming down the pike that's something serious. And I also have a community member. She owns and operates her own truck stop out in California. She gives me updates all the time. It's not looking good for our truckers. It's
No,
really
it's not.
not. So it's really, I think our, you know, like with our truckers, with our gas, with our diesel, with our supply chain, I think we're going to be hit even harder this year. And I think 2023 is going to be even worse.
Yep, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I follow
And-
this channel actually, Autumn, and he's a Canadian trucker, and he
Mm-hmm.
will often do live streams. Sometimes they get a little bit crazy,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what he was saying. He's like, they don't even know if they're going to be able to afford to be running their trucks past November of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
his name, he's Wheel Burner Express.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Carbon
just,
Cube.
it's terrible. It's
Yeah.
terrible what's going on. It really is.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of.
Carbon Cube, what do you think?
I think a lot of very bad things are going to happen to everyday people. It doesn't matter where you are; it's going to happen to you. People losing their homes. It's going to be a lot of homelessness, displaced people,
Oh,
food
yeah.
shortages. It's going to be a lot of families merging together just to make ends meet. There's going to be a lot of crime. Crime is going to be insane.
Oh my.
A few more months, if it's not already by now. But you're going to see a lot of people. Either they're going to buckle down and try to weather this storm because they have no choice at this point, or they're going to be asked out. Excuse me for cursing, but I don't know how else to say it. And I hope that they're paying attention. I hope they're doing whatever they can at this point. You know, whatever you can to get some food in your house. I think food is like one of the most important things besides your shelter and your security. 2A, get your firearms, people. Get a safe, put it in there. You're gonna need them. Some sort of something to defend yourself and defend what you have in your home or your property. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes to what we see life is as today, and it's not going to be for the best. You're going to see a lot of mental health problems because people are not going to be used to the lifestyle that's going to come in a few months.
Yeah.
I agree. I completely agree. Morgan.
Sorry, I mean to interrupt. Yeah, so I think we're all seeing the exact same things. You know, there's trouble down the way. When is it going to come? We don't really know. That's the whole point. We don't know if, like a big thing is going to happen, or it's just going to like roll into a recession, or even worse, a depression, or it's going to, whatever's going to happen. So I can't really control a lot of all this, outside factors that are happening. So I'm just trying to stay prepared, and that's all we can do. So we just need to keep trying to, just stay prepared and try to thrive as much as possible. Keep prepping the food and the water, and then doing the skills, learning the skills, and all this. And it's really all I can do, and keep, taking care of my household and my kids, and that's it.
Might even see possible war at this point, or the way things are going. That's a big change.
Yeah. Northern Girl.
People in the chat are saying the chat's going too fast, so I don't know if you can slow it down.
I can, but maybe I don't want to. Maybe I want them to read faster.
Okay.
I'll slow it down.
Yeah, I don't see things going well at all. Not at all. I'm in Canada, for anyone who doesn't know. So you can just imagine with our crappy people up there that are controlling everything and taking away stuff and putting bills into place. It's not fun. We're much doing the same thing here. We're just trying to do what we got to do. We got our garden. We got to get that stuff put back. Also helping others in the community too, because we can go to a place here where we get free food. So this is what we do every couple of weeks. We go and get the free food and bring it to our neighbors and like our friends and family. I apologize, my dog. I got to mute this.
That's fine. Prepping by Faith, you're up.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of paint a picture of where I see this possibly going. So I think we can all see clearly that the inflation is out of control, and I don't really see that stopping. That's evident just in the grocery prices that I've been tracking since the end of March. And I've seen a 20 to 30% average increase across the board in just a 4 months time span. And other items like the 18 count generic eggs from Walmart, I've seen 153% inflation. And I think we need to realize as the cost of energy continues to climb, along with the price of food, we're really in for a rude awakening. And we're in a recession now, but we're definitely headed for a depression. And I see large companies beginning to lay people off now, but I can see where as these prices continue to climb, these larger companies won't be able to handle that burden of cost either. And you could see situations where these large corporations start to go under, especially vendors, if people can no longer afford to purchase the items that are on the shelves. And that would inevitably end up greatly limiting our choices, like that of the third world countries. And it's going to be very difficult for people to find any source of employment. I think the homeless population will explode, and it will be a very dangerous situation to even go to the grocery store. And people need to understand that this is all part of that greater plan. They need to collapse the dollar in order to bring on this one world system. And you see this language repeated in the WHO and the WEF constantly. And they're going to end up eventually rolling out this central bank digital currency in every country. And eventually, I think it's going to merge into one. And they're going to continue to try to box us in and strip away more of our rights. And the only thing that we can do is continue to kind of push back where we can and prepare to the best of our abilities, and also prepare spiritually.
Very good. Now, interestingly enough, you brought up the digital banking system. I encourage everyone to read Executive Order 14067. That's Executive Order 14067. That is a very important read because it goes through almost the entire process of the central banking digital system, how it's going to work. And when you read it at first, it sounds like bullshit. It sounds like they keep bringing up security and safety of your currency. So they no longer call it money, and it's all digital. And they keep saying security, and it'll help small businesses, the person, it'll protect it from hackers and all this other crazy shit, which is bullshit. You can't protect anything from hackers. But I guess the morons that be will read this and go, "Wow, man, they're really trying to protect us." No, they're trying to control it. The further down you read in that executive order, the more you start realizing this is going to get bad because they're going to have total control. Now, not at first. They're not going to give us the bullshit at first. But down the line, when they get everybody else on, when they get more people on, that's when they start hammering you with the controlling of how you spend your money, where you spend your money, and who you spend your money with, right? So if you're looking to buy firearms, they can absolutely say, no, we're not going to allow you to do that. If you buy a gas guzzling car, they're going to tell you, no, we're not allowing you to do that because of the environment. They'll give you some bullshit. But again, it's in the executive order itself. Look it up, read it. There's a lot of, like, what do they call it? Double talk, I guess, in the executive order itself. And it's not that long. It's not a long read. So I think a lot of people will be able to get through it. If I was able to get through it, so would you guys. With that being said, so here's a question. If they initiate or activate the central banking digital system, what are your solutions as individuals? What are your solutions to get around that? And would you consider, I know your answers to this question, would you consider opting in? No. Morgan, let's start with you first.
No, I want nothing to do with any of that. No. That's just this has actually been talked about for years now, the digital currency and everything you're saying. It's been talked about for years, and it's going to happen, and it's not something that Like, a lot of people are talking about Bitcoin, and they always compare it to Bitcoin. Well, it's just another digital currency, and just the federal government's just going to be in control of it, so it'll be fine. But like you're saying with the firearms and everything, it's a slippery slope of I can control literally every single thing that you do and shut you down. And so I literally don't want any part of that. I would pull everything. I mean, I want to pull everything now, but yeah, it's just one of those things that anything they do is not in our best interest, but that's absolutely not in our best interest.
Mm-hmm.
No, and you're absolutely right about that. But again, like Prepping by Faith is saying, it's all connected to the World Economic Forum. It's just they gave different states and countries the go ahead to do it. So it seems like, each individual country is doing it on their own. But like she said, they're going to link the shit, and then we're absolutely screwed. Autumn Backyard Garden. What would be your solution to getting out of something like that? And would you opt into it? I hate to say this, if you absolutely had to.
No, I wouldn't. No, but what a lot of people, I don't know if anyone's looked into this, but another thing that's coming our way is UBI. And UBI is the Universal Basic Income. And that should scare a lot of people, because what is going on with that is, regardless if you make this amount of money being a fireman, right, which I know you're now retired, or you make this amount of money like doing what my husband does, working for Homeland Security, whatever you do for a living, that no longer matters. You are going to be making this amount of money, and so is everyone else, and that is it.
That's going to cause like major civil unrest.
Oh, exactly.
People are going to lose their freaking marbles.
Exactly. But that's exactly what's coming. That's exactly what's coming is universal basic income. And it's the scariest thing that could possibly happen, but it's coming. And it's not even actual real money. It's digital money. It's digital.
Yeah. Right. So they can absolutely put a value on it and just tell us what the value is. Right?
Yes.
They do. I mean, again, it's like, and I know people are gonna fucking hate me for saying this, but it's like Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin was some shit that was made out of thin air, or rather, with ones and zeros, and they made this thing, and they said, "Oh, well, this is the value of it." Now all of a sudden, it has value, and that's exactly where the government's going. We knew that this was coming. We've seen it in the movies forever, right? We've seen it, especially like Blade Runner, or that other movie, TV show on Netflix. I can't think of the name right now, where everything was digital currency, and it was as you were granted what you were granted, and that's it. No more, no less. And if you were in high society, you're granted all the money. If you are like us common folks, you're granted very little, and that's what they keep you on, to keep you at that level. Carbon Cube, what would be your solution, what would be a solution to this digital banking system, and would you buy into it if you had to?
I want to say I'm not. I wouldn't want to do it, but I will still have to see like all the pieces on the chessboard, because if I can't go out, if I can't get food, if I can't do anything because I'm not part of that, and I'm not set up to weather the storm, I may have to. It all depends. If I can, I'll just. If I don't have to do it, I think I would probably. At this point, it'd have to be bartering, get back into that type of lifestyle, I guess, and just get with people that are interested in that. At this point,
No, and I appreciate the honest answer, because it's something that a lot of people don't realize how bad it's going to get if they implement that. And your job, for example, is now taking your paycheck and putting it directly into that. Then you're going to be like, what the fuck? You had no plans in leaving your job. You had no plans in retiring. And then they pull this fucking move. You're going to be like, what the fuck do I do now? So that's why I asked that question, because there's going to be a lot of unforeseen things coming out of this. And you could be the smartest man in the world. There's definitely going to be some fucking curveballs. People are going to be like, what the fuck is that? Northern Girl, I know your answer to this already. I'm asking it anyway. What would be your solution to opting out of it? And would you join it if you absolutely had to?
I don't plan on joining anything like that. Just as far as universal basic income comes too, like just if you have skills, you can barter your skills, right? Alex is a carpenter, we do gardens, work under the freaking table so nobody has to see what's going on in your business, right? And yeah, because I don't want to go for any of that shit, man.
I hear you. Prepping by faith, you're up.
I definitely will not be participating in anything like that because as a Christian, I feel like this is biblical. I feel like it is definitely headed toward the mark of the beast. It's something that I grew up hearing about ever since I was a little kid. And now to start seeing it unfold before us on the world scene, it really hits home for me. And so, for first and foremost, for me as a Christian, I believe that you need to get right with God and you need to think about preparing your soul for eternity and accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior. Because we can stockpile all of the goods in the world, we can build a bunker, we can learn every skill there is to learn, but there's never any guarantees in this life. And all we can do is prepare to the best of our abilities. And something could happen to any one of us in an instant. But I do think also, going back to another solution that you were talking about, I think having conversations like this and working on figuring out how we can better integrate communities across state lines and that sort of thing, I think is going to be critical to us getting off of a system like this, because we need to have solid community, people that we can trust. And it's going to be more than just bartering, different things, items that we have. It's also going to be bartering your skills and trading skills, because it could just be a situation where somebody needs a doctor and somebody else needs a plumber, and you're trading in that way. So we need to start thinking outside of the box when it comes to some of this stuff, and start getting a system in place now and really strategize. I think as content creators, kind of being that head and leading the community, and maybe having some conversations outside of YouTube to strategize, how do we do this?
Very good. And that's why I'm bringing this guy up, Hudson Valley Prepping Survival, Mike. He's been working on something, and I've been attending it, and it seems to be gaining some momentum. So
Awesome.
it's a
Yeah, great.
prepper gathering, and I think right now this outing we had just this past weekend was phenomenal. I pulled up and I saw these cars outside. I was like, what the hell? I was like, that's really good. Now, if everybody in their respective states and or country can do this shit, that would be awesome. I think the first step is to start something like this. Now, I know some of you have heard in the past, Northern Girl especially, maybe even Autumn Backyard. Um, you've heard of the whole prepper Underground Railroad thing back about a year ago. Different preppers wanted to start. Okay, no, she's like, nope, I didn't hear this shit before. So it was something that, if I'm not mistaken, Pinball wanted to start, and Prepper Nurse One wanted to start. And the thing is, for both of them, it started too big, right? And so I found the solution. Again, attending Mike's thing, the solution is start local. Starting local is the only way. And then when it gets big enough, you start intermingling with other groups that are already established. So, for example, we'll use Prepping by Faith, right? She's in, out in the Midwest somewhere. With that, she has this thing going. She's got, I don't know, 500 people showing up. Mike, myself, and let's say a couple other preppers from New York will travel over to where she is and start getting a connection going. And from there, because we're not going to head back to New York, we'll head over to Morgan. And she has something established. She has 200-300 people, maybe 1,000, and then we establish communications with the head groups. And I think it would grow from there. Again, trying to do the across the board shit just doesn't work. Once we get ourselves established, then we can start talking. Go ahead.
How would we establish something like that? Like, I'm in Tampa, so how would I establish something like that and then be able to reach out to
Thank
Carbon
you
Q
for
or
asking
Morgan
that.
or, huh?
I said thank you
No.
for asking that, because what I want from you guys, because you guys have already started doing this and I don't really know kind of where to start, is maybe just getting some guidelines. How do we properly vet people? How do we properly integrate people into the group that we can trust? And just, having something like that out there, because I think even people, I probably am not the only person who is kind of lost on how to navigate that. I'm sure lots of people in the community are wondering, how do I do that effectively as well? Because the last thing you want to do is get a fox in the hen house.
Right.
Right. So here's the beauty of it. With the Hudson Valley prepping bug out weekends, when they get there, you notice who's who. You know who's a nut job and who's not. You talk to these people for a couple of minutes, and it's not an interview. You don't say it's an interview. You sit there and you just gather people together. Now, how do you start it? You put something on Facebook or Autumn. You have a YouTube channel. You got enough followers. You say, hey, I want to get together with preppers and do, I don't know, a what the fuck's that called? Either a bug out weekend or what's that shit where you sell stuff? Trade, barter. You start a bartering day or bartering afternoon, and you get a couple people to turn out, and you do this over a course of a couple months to a year. It's not going to happen fast, but that's the purpose of it. You don't want it to happen too fast. You happen too fast, like you said, you get a fox in the hen house. You start it slow, you start seeing who's who. And now listen,
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
The more you do the shit with your people, you find out if they're really your people or if they're not your people.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Or I'm seeing a troll that's real nasty in here, and I'm trying to nab him.
Who the hell is it?
Which one? You know what? Fuck them. It doesn't matter. It is
I think
what it
I've
is.
been seeing them too. Yeah.
Yeah, I listen, ladies. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew we were gonna have an asshole on here who's gonna say some shit. It is what it is. You get you women in one spot, this shit's gonna fly, right? So and you guys don't give a fuck anyway. Anyway, you guys come across this, you don't give a fuck. So
I'm used to it, so I don't really care.
No, and when you create a faith-based channel, you get it from everybody. You get it from the other Christians. You get it from everybody that isn't. You have to have thick skin.
Yeah, no, you definitely have to have thick skin on this. Listen, and we're gonna get into that in a little bit. Actually, no, what? Fuck it, we'll get into it now. We're at the half-hour mark. As females, how do you? Because I want your answer to go out to women and maybe some fucking beta males. How to answer this question? How to approach this subject? How do you guys, as women, handle the trolls that come after you with the shitty comments? And the shitty comments I'm talking about. I'm not going to get into it. Right. So we're going to start with prepping by faith, since we sort of opened the floor with it. How do you handle dick-faced morons?
I try to be as respectful as I can, and I kind of try to give people a one shot. So if you come at me and you're just saying something that's disrespectful, then I'll respond to you and kind of give you an opportunity, because sometimes I think people are under a lot of stress and they think that you mean something different than what you're trying to share with the group. And so they have this perception in their mind of what it is that you're saying or what it is that you're trying to convey, and it gets twisted. So sometimes I will give them an opportunity, but if they're just saying something that's just out there, I'm like, you're gone. I'm not going to put up with that. I don't have to put up with that. And I think it also helps as women. I have a lot of female content creator friends that I kind of vent to. So when I get in those types of situations and I'm just really frustrated, I'll, call one of them or text one of them or something, because they know what I'm going through, because they're going through it too. So I think having another person to kind of bounce that off of and kind of vent to is helpful, at least for me.
Very, very good. Northern girl, you're up.
I don't put up with shit, man. You would not even believe, when I went to the convoy, my channel just blew right up. I went from I think it was 3,000 subs to 13. It was growing by 2,000 to 3,000 subs per day. You would not believe the nasty comments I had. And I had to get more mods at one point, because I had 3,000 people in chat when we were on a one live stream just going to the convoy. And my moderators were all freaking out and stuff, but I haven't really experienced real nasty comments since I got rid of a lot of those people that were negative. So I don't really see it. Like the odd time I'll have some smart ass comment, but I just ignore it now. That's all. If it's real bad, then yeah, they get blocked.
Carbon Q?
Um,
She's too sweet to get negative comments.
I
Yeah,
really
well,
haven't got any negative comments on my channel. I did get a negative comments when I was on a regular gun guy, and I think it was my first one ever, and I lost my entire mind. But after dealing with that, I would just ignore them because the more energy you give them, the more they're just going to, keep coming back, and it's a waste of your time, throws you off your subject matter. So just
Yeah, that's
block
right.
them and keep it going.
Yeah.
Autumn?
Well, I honestly, I don't have to deal with them because the ladies in my community, they handle it for me.
Yeah.
Very
They
good.
literally handle it for me. I've seen comments of, "What the hell are you doing here? If you don't like what she has to say, get the hell out." And oh yeah, the people in my community, they literally they don't hold back. You say one mean thing to me, and they're coming at you. It's so
Right.
funny.
Yeah.
I love my community. I have the best people in my community ever. I really do.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Morgan, you've probably been on, I think, the longest out of them. I know you've gotten shit. So how did you handle it?
Yeah, I did, and I still do, especially on really old videos. And at a couple videos, I've had to literally close comments because they've gotten so bad. And but I just don't. I used to get really defensive with them, and I used to just like attack. But then I just like, this is just a waste of my time, and so it really depends on the comment. If the comment is really nasty, they're just gone. Period. You're just delete, block, gone.
Mhm.
If they're just like, saying some crap, I might, be sarcastic with them or something like that. But it just really depends. Like, if they're brand new to the channel, if they've been there a while, you can usually tell who they are or whatever. And yeah, I don't know. It just depends on the comment and the person. And usually I'm much better these days of just kind of ignoring and blocking than I used to be in the beginning days.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, well, and that's why I brought it up because I know, like I said, you're one of the longer living channels, and you definitely got some shit. So now, my next question in regard to the same category, I'd love to hear the answers on this, especially Morgan's answer. But we're gonna start from you. We're gonna go back the other way up. How would you deal with? And I know that some of you are married and or have a boyfriend, so I can definitely see the answer with some of them. But how would you deal with a dude? Because this happened to Prepper Princess. How would you deal with a dude or dudes just showing up at your house with some bullshit?
Mhm.
I heard about that, and I was literally shook when I heard that. I was like, oh my gosh, somebody actually took the time to go and like seek her out. That's scary, but I go through a lot of scenarios with defense, personal defense, home defense, all that kind of stuff. So there's so many scenarios. And actually, when I heard of that, I was like, okay, like that's another one I need to go over and train with. And so we do. And that's part of our defense plan. So, yeah. And really, it's kind of about being careful in general about the type of information you're putting out there.
Okay.
So, don't say you're on vacation,
Right.
when of the days that you're on vacation, do it like a week later or 2 weeks later or something like that. Try not to put your addresses, last names, any of these kinds of things. Like, don't be putting, really personal information. Of course, it's the internet. Anybody can find out anything. But, the harder you make it for people, the people that really want to get at you, they will, but then it's just going to weed out, a bunch of those other people that try to get at you. So, yeah, that's my advice.
Yeah.
Autumn, I'd like to hear your answer.
Why? Because it happened to me too. Yeah. Well, not at my house, but I was at the grocery store, and I was actually shopping for my husband's mom, and I was in her part of Florida, which is about 45 minutes away from me. And if you've been in Aldi's, you know how they have their 10-pound bag of potatoes in the big thing of cardboard thing, and I was bent over, and I'm on the phone with my best friend, and all of a sudden I hear someone whisper in my ear, "I'm a big fan of yours."
Oh,
Holy
creepy.
crap.
And I go, "What?" And I dropped the potatoes, and I turned around and I go, "What the hell?"
I would have taken the potatoes and hit him in the head with them, but that.
Yeah. And I go, "Who the hell are you?" And he goes, "I'm a really big fan of yours." And I said, "I don't give a shit." And I was just like, arm's length back up. You know,
Dude,
and
yeah.
I was so afraid. I was just like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? And I was on the phone with my friend Trish, and she heard what was going on. She goes, "What's going on? Are you all right?" And I said, "A subscriber is here." And she goes, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm at Aldi." She goes, "Drop everything and get the hell out of there."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
creepy. Wow.
Because she was afraid that he was going to follow me to Sean's mom's house. Because then, I mean, now he would know what kind of car I drive. He would know where Sean's mom lives. And who's to say he's not going to wait around and follow me home, even though it's 45 minutes away.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
crazy.
that's good. Good that you noticed that, or you recognized that, if you got in your car, he would have had your license plate and went to
Mhm.
town on it, right? So it's a lot of things to think about in that situation. Again, I don't have to deal with that shit. That's why that's why I'm asking the question, because
Yeah.
I
But
know the answers, and I know some of you went through it, but yeah, I would welcome someone and be like, "Yo, I know where you live." I'm like, "Fucking come to my doorstep and watch what happens next."
yeah.
I don't have to deal with that shit. And even like Prepper Princess, who has talked about firearms a couple of times, and dude still came to her shit. I'm like, they fucking out of their mind. She could have did what she wanted with them and buried them in the fucking back somewhere, and no one would have known,
Right.
But that's
Well,
that's
we've
great.
upped the security here at our house. We have more security cameras and motion detector lights and stuff like that because I said, Sean's always at work. He's either at work or he's, doing something with the Marine Corps. I said, I'm always at home. Now we've got my niece and nephew living with us again. He's 7 years old and 12 years old. I'm not taking any chances, man.
I hear you.
This is ridiculous.
Well, listen, fucking a bag of lime and a shovel goes a long way.
Jeez.
Carbon Q, you're next.
You come to my door, you're getting shot. You walk up on me, you're gonna get shot. And I pretty much try to avoid that because situational awareness is a very big thing for me. I try to switch up my routine as much as I can. I don't go to the same stores. When I'm online, I try not to show too much of my house and what's in it. And that's one of my problems is that I don't want to show things because I have to show certain parts of my house. And it becomes difficult because it may look like, you're not producing content, but as a female, you have to think of the other things, which is what you guys are talking about right now. Just walking outside, before you step out your door, look around. Especially if you have hedges, size people up as they're walking up. You hear a sound, turn around and look. You have to be aware at all times, even in a grocery store, standing online. If I feel you a little bit too close, I turn around and I'm looking you in your face like, okay, I get it might be a mom with the kid or whatever, but you still have to address the situation. You still have to let them know that you're watching out. Pay attention. Don't go to the same things. Be careful what you show online. Like you said, be careful what you tell people as far as I'm going away or this, that, the other. Don't post anything until you get back. And if you have that firearm, get your training and don't be afraid to use it. Defend yourself, and your family. if they walk up on you and you don't know them, this will be a long subject for me because the head is always on a swivel. I'm
Absolutely.
not giving anybody the opportunity. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but as much as if I can prevent it, I am, and I'm not afraid to use my body.
Mhm.
Okay, so
None of us should be afraid to use our firearms or any weapons at any time, especially if we have to defend ourselves against an unknown whoever, whatever.
Yeah.
That's right. And it's not just men that will hurt us, it's kids. Watching the news or reading the newspaper, these kids are crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot of mental health issues running around here. You have people, you have to survive, and that's just not feeding yourself. It's protecting yourself and your family. If you're afraid of firearms, go to a class, get some training. I'm pretty sure you'll probably get over it once you give yourself the opportunity to try it.
Mhm.
And you'll feel a lot better when stuff jumps off at 3 o'clock in the morning. I bet you that's the first thing you're going to be grabbing.
Mhm.
If you have your babies to protect, or your family.
And especially for those of us that have kids, I've got a 12-year-old who thinks she's 21 and who likes to dress like it too.
Oh,
God
boy.
help me.
You know how that goes.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I make sure my daughter wears a burlap sack when she goes outside.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah. Mhm.
that and overalls. But
She drives me nuts.
One more thing. Learn hand-to-hand combat too, because sometimes you might not be able to pull your firearm, and you might have to take it to these. These babies work nice. You might have to do that just to get to your firearm first.
Right.
You know,
That's right.
Yeah, you
Well,
might get bump and bruises, but it'll be worth it.
My son has been teaching us because he's a brown belt in MMA, and he learned that just by being in boot camp.
Yeah.
So he's teaching us how to do some things.
Yeah, we have an older friend here too that teaches hand to hand and use with knives and stuff too.
Mhm.
So that's excellent. He's ex-military, right? So it's bonus.
Mhm.
well, Armageddon Depot said carry a tactical pen.
I have two.
That's nice. Yeah.
I have two of them.
I think it's good to have layers. You have the tactical pen for the short, or a taser or whatever, because a firearm may not always be the first option. It rarely is.
Right.
And, so situational awareness, so that's your first layer. Second layer is going to be, getting space. And then your third might be, grabbing that tactical pen, hitting them in the, temple, the neck or whatever, just in the chest, wherever you can get them, right? And then, that last option, they just won't stop. So, it's always that layer. So, yeah, I like tactical pens a lot, actually.
There's there's pocket knives. There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
You can go with stun gun, go with it, but
I wish we could have one here. It's illegal for us to have any type of taser because I saw one channel had the lipstick tasers. This was like 2 years ago. And I'm like, I can't import that into Canada.
I bought one on Amazon.
Yeah.
I don't think they would ship it here. I can't even get solar lights here.
Yeah.
You can't get what?
Honestly, I won solar lights from Preparedness last year, and he could not ship them via Amazon.
That's
He
insane.
sent me a gift card instead. It's crazy,
So,
right?
Northern Girl, how would you handle a stalker or someone just popping up on you?
Holy
And
God.
or
If you want to
harassment.
do that to somebody with PTSD, don't be popping up on me nowhere. I
Right.
always have a freaking knife right handy. So yeah, they don't want to be doing that. And if I'm at home, I have an alarm system. We have the dogs. And dogs, yeah, they're pugs, but they alert us with everything. With everything. And I have wasp spray right by the door too. We have our guns somewhere. I'm not going to say where, but I have access. Basically, every room that we go into, there's some sort of a weapon.
Now, for those of you that said you were having a problem getting certain things shipped to you, don't use Amazon. Try to use eBay. Sometimes eBay is a better option because you can get. Listen, I've gotten a couple things through eBay that Amazon would not ship here, right? So just keep that in the back of your head. Prepping by Faith, you're up.
I agree with what Carbon Q is saying about situational awareness. I think that is really important. Something else that I do, I'd never open up my door. If I don't know who you are and you come knocking up on my door, I don't open it, especially when it's men, because I get a lot of men that come around because they want to sell you some sort of solar system, or they want to sell you another bug company, or whatever the heck it is. They're always knocking on the door. And so I have an extra latch where I can just crack it, right? And I'm just like, no, I'm not interested. No, I'm not interested. And I just close it. Don't open it all the way. You don't need to give them that sort of access. And then I think having things like, I have pepper gel in my purse. That's important. And then I think when you're filming, obviously I have this stuff behind me, but that's because I've shown this stuff before doing hauls and that sort of thing. You do show some of your preps. That is part of doing a channel like that. So the other thing is you have to be careful when you're filming not to grab your address or grab your license plate.
Right.
I noticed one time when I was in my garage, I went back through a video and I go, oh my gosh, I put my license. So I had to, edit that out. But you have to be careful with that sort of thing, especially when you're first getting started, because you're not really thinking about it. So
Yeah.
just things like that.
I
That's
wouldn't
right.
open up the door at all.
And you can
Right.
use your
Yeah,
key
right.
too.
I know so many people around here that they leave their doors unlocked.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, holy
Mhm.
crap. And some of them are older women. And I'm like, you guys are crazy.
It's like inviting the
With,
devil.
with the amount of drug usage and
My
like, I'm in a small community here, 600 people. Okay, I have a lot of people on Facebook too and Instagram. So I got to watch what I put out onto those platforms, right? Because people know who I am. So like I might do a fishing video, which will be fine for me to share to the public, right? Like, because I know people around here don't really watch my channel. They don't. I might have the odd person. I had an Avon customer call me up one day and she says, oh my God, I saw you modding for Angryprepper. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And, hey, so that was something cool that came out of it all, but not too many people that I know follow my channel, which is great. And I like it that way, locally anyways.
Yeah. Well,
You can get those little personal alarms too, guys, and put them on there. They're really cheap. That's something that I just got recently. And I'm going to put them
Okay.
on like my kids' backpacks and things too for school, because you never know, if they were just walking to and from the bus stop or something. Anything that's going to make a loud noise and gain a lot of attraction, I think is good too.
Well, thank you for that last comment. Ladies, I'm sorry. People watching, do me a favor, hit the like button if you don't mind. Also, the channels, Prepping by Fate, Northern the Girl Howard, Carbon Q, Autumn Backyard Garden, and Road Preparedness, Morgan. Visit their channels and like and subscribe. Again, I try to my best stay in touch with smart people, right? And so there we are. We have 5 on here tonight. Hopefully the next 5 will. No, the next 5 will. I'm just fucking with you guys. But listen, the you guys have like I said, an interesting dilemma, because again, I don't have to deal with this shit. I don't ever somebody, when I was filming on a building, someone was like, "Oh, you better be careful because they can triangulate where you are." And one guy was like, "Oh, I know where you live." I'm like, "Great, don't come here. Don't knock on my fucking door. Good luck trying to get through the I don't know how many apartment units we have here. You're gonna knock on every door." I'm like, "No, you're not gonna do that." Obviously, when we move and we get a house, I have to be a little more so conscious about what I film and where I film. Though I would also again take that challenge, because you come to my door, it's called target practice when you show up on a no, right? So that problem I just don't have. But you guys, it's fucking stupid to have that problem. It really is. And people breaking your balls in the comment section, again, another fucking stupid problem. I get my balls broken, but it's for an entirely different reason. You guys get your balls broken, it's the fucking opposite.
Yeah.
Adding to that, Jason, it's even more difficult. We didn't even talk about this aspect of it, but what sucks worse is when you have another content creator who decides to make a video about you and put that out. And that is like next level. It's not what I was expecting, being as small as I am, but having that happen, and it happened by 2 other channels. and twice by one channel. So it was
What?
not fun. It was an awful experience. I don't wish
What?
that on my worst enemy. So, and trying to handle that situation, it's not something that I really, went around talking about or anything. I did go ahead and make a video, but I addressed it from my standpoint and didn't call the person out because I don't believe in naming out other people. That's not something that I do. So the
That's
fact that this person actually did name me and my channel, it was really low. So
Wow.
Were you a victim of that wolf prepper guy like the rest of us were?
no, this was something entirely different.
Well, you could whisper his name to me, and I won't tell anybody. Again, that's a shitty fucking problem to have, but nonetheless, it's a realistic problem that I mean, I guess guys deal with it to some degree. I mean, listen, there were some beta male channels that actually took their channel down because they couldn't handle some of the harassment. Keep in mind, I tell people, like, when people told me that, one guy told me that, I'm like, dude, I'm fucking black, and I've been called, a nigger and I think a coon once. That was my favorite one, a couple of times, and I didn't like, oh my god, I gotta shut my channel down. I just fucking went back at it or ignored it, and that was it. And when you ignore them, that's probably the more better response, because they lose wind after that, especially after you fucking, you don't respond at all, or you respond and you respond like, thank you for watching my channel. That really fucking gets them down.
Yeah.
Kill him with kindness.
Well, yeah, but you also letting them know, especially you guys are like, yo, you're getting me paid, so thank you for fucking watching. Now they're like, shit. Now they're in a dilemma. Do I keep breaking their balls and getting them paid, or do I fucking just leave it alone? And some of them, they might not like you, like legitimately, like for whatever reason. And once they find out that you're actually getting paid for the views, they leave you the fuck alone. For the most part, doesn't always happen.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. People think that they downvote or, they leave a nasty comment or something like that, and they're like hurting us. No, you're actually helping us. Any and all activity. Thank you.
I got a thumbs down on my garden video from the other day. So it's interesting. I thought it was a nice video. I edited stuff and well, thank
people
you for
thumb down everything.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Right. The people thumbs down your video just when you post it, and you go live, and it boom, thumbs down.
Like, just give me all thumbs down, please.
Yeah, right. Give me all the fucking thumbs down. I'll take them all.
Some of these people are dedicated. They follow you around since the beginning. And I've had this one. I always have a downvote on every single video since I started. I don't know. This person is really dedicated.
Yeah. I had a person that created like 15 different accounts, and it was obvious it was the very same person because the dislikes came at the exact same time.
Right.
It was 15 all at the same time, and they just went back through like all my videos and like did it. And I was like, what are you like hoping to prove here? Like that you took all this time to create all these different accounts and then spent all of your time going to my videos, watching them, downvoting them, and then moving on and doing the same thing. Good job. Like,
yeah, like you could be doing stuff with your time.
way better, some more productive stuff for sure.
They could actually be prepping. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Watching a prep,
Right.
you can actually be prepping instead.
That's crazy.
But it is, and again, it's just a stupid problem. Now the YouTuber conversation, it's just a stupid fucking problem to have when people like just because they hate you that much. Like, I'm okay with being hated, but there are YouTubers out there that are like, oh man, I'm getting so much hate. I'm like, yo, if you're a people pleaser, you're not going to survive on YouTube. Period.
Nope.
No,
Yeah.
you really can't. Now,
Right.
my next question. This is going to go over an hour, so if you guys can hang in there a couple more minutes. As female preppers, what is the one thing that men and women overlook for preps? Like, what one item? And let's start with prepping by faith. Let's start with her.
You're like putting me in the hot seat for that one. You know what? I think most people are overlooking water. And I'm just going to throw that one out there because I feel like we talk a lot about food, and we talk a lot about medical. And I think water is being overlooked, and I think it's our most critical prep. And it's not a sexy prep, but it's something that we need to have to survive. And it's not even just, having it stocked and stored. It's also, all the different filtration aspects of that water, because if you're having to get it from an unvetted source, you're going to want a way to purify that water. And so for me, I think it's more than just having something like a Sawyer Mini. That's a good place to start, but you need layers of protection. So I believe in more of a 3-step process at minimum when you're sourcing water you're unsure about. So you can create a cheap system out of a 2-liter soda bottle to get those large particles filtered out, where you layer some gravel, some sand, some activated carbon. And then once you've done that, I feel like, you could go ahead and boil it or put in a chemical treatment and then go ahead and run it through purification. But I think that's something that we really need to be focused on, especially with all of these droughts and things that are starting to escalate across the country.
Thank you for that. Now, before I get to Northern Girl, this guy, One Liberty, One Freedom, says YouTube deleted his channel, so he had to create a new one. The crazy shit is, if you report trolls, at least trolls that are harassing you, YouTube does dick about it. But let you mention, the arm ticket one too many times, or how much you hate, I don't know, Ukraine, for example, they'll fucking take your channel down the heartbeat. I mean, was it Angry Homesteader? Happened to her, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. They'll take a channel down with the quickness, but when it comes to fucking people harassing, especially women, and saying some of the fucked up shit they said, YouTube wants nothing to do with it. I find that very alarming. Northern Girl, what do you think is overlooked between men and women in the prepping game?
That's a tough one, because Alex isn't really a prepper, man.
Okay. Yeah.
And honestly, it's tough having to do most of it on my own. Like right now, I'm super pumped. So what happened was, you had to buy a new vehicle. We also had to buy a new vehicle. This was before I went to Ottawa. So I didn't want to leave him stranded with a piece of shit Chevy that couldn't go nowhere. And so we kept the old Chevy, and then he bought another piece of shit old Chevy, and I was ticked off about this, okay? Because I'm thinking, we have a $37,000 truck now, and you got 2 pieces of shit. Anyway, to make a long story short, he's actually amalgamated the 2 together, it's essentially like a 2007 Chevy. So that's now our backup vehicle, because if there's an EMP, I don't think anything's going to be impacted to that 2007, whereas we have a 2014 and 2017 2 vehicles. So I'm selling my car. But anyway, Alex isn't a prepper. I do a lot of the shit on my own. I'd say, yeah, vehicle preps. And like for us, we don't have enough pet preps, because he fucking feeds the animals too much. He does. I'm like, I just stacked all of the stuff for the cats and the pugs, and it's like, where did it all go, dude? And they're all like getting obese, and it's like pet preps. What about our chickens? We could be fermenting the feed to make it last longer, but he claims they don't like it. No, they're gonna get used to it, man. Yeah. Like, because our cost of feed has gone up now. Like, we started off with 3 illegal chickens. Now we have 12 illegal chickens, and the cost of feed. And then you go talk to the Mennonites, and we don't know where this is going to go further down the road. You can't even get antibiotics now from the Mennonites or the ivermectin. So, yeah, stuff like that. Sorry, I'm fired up right now.
I hear you. Carbon Cube.
Yes. So I think training as far as like bushcraft and things like that. I know there's a lot of people that do it, but I don't think it's emphasized enough, because we're going to go to a place where the preps that we have are going to run out, and we're actually going to have to use what we have in nature to for those things. I think exercise is not stressed enough. Being physically able to just deal with it, even just dealing with different types of weather. And PTLB does War Room Wednesdays, just the mental aspect of that, and placing yourself in situations and seeing how you would fare in it, or where you may need to think about something a little bit more. I think those types of things are a little bit more, not a little bit more, but should be more, should be done more, just to prepare people from different points of view, physically, mentally, and just make us use our minds and our imaginations just a little bit more than we're used to, because everything for us is on the computer or on our phones. It's, you can tell the lights turn on by just talking. We're going to have to go back to a point where we're going to have to actually use our brains to get through certain things.
I will never get up to turn the light off again, okay? You can't force me.
Right. So
Autumn.
that's what.
Well, I think that the one thing that men and women should start stocking up on is antibiotics.
Mhm.
I like that.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. That
Go-
Jace medical kit is the bomb.
Yeah, that's what I have. And honestly, I've been in bed for 3 days because I have COVID right now. And if it wasn't for me having the Jace medical kit, I don't know where the hell I would be. I think I would be in a hell of a lot worse situation right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Sean's sister had COVID. She ended up in the hospital. And I'm like, and the next day after she got diagnosed, I got hit. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone thinks they're going to escape it, and then they get it. You know, like me, I was like, I'm never going to get this shit. Fuck you, fuck you. You know, I'm like, the kids got it. I'm like, you guys are, yeah. Oh, yeah? The kids got it. I'm like, you guys are weak. My wife got it. I'm like, you're weak. And then I drink out of my wife's cup, and then I get COVID. I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. You know, but it wasn't bad.
Did you guys actually take the nose swab test for that?
That's crazy.
No, the kids did because they were in school. I didn't. And, you know, the wife's like, you want to take a test? I'm like, for fucking what? I got the same symptoms you got. I'm not going to have something else. And she's like,
Yeah.
well, don't you want to know? I don't want to know. I know I have it. Or the flu or the cold, whatever it is. You know, but it's all the same, man. And, you know, anyway, so when, you know, they got it again. They just got it again a month ago, the kids. I'm like, man, I'm going to trade you guys in for a newer model because you guys are like falling apart here, you know? But again, no one died. Everyone's fine. You know, we all got through it. Morgan, what do you think? What is the most overlooked prep, in your opinion, between men and women?
Adapting. So I think that in our modern society, it's very hard for people to think outside of what they're doing right now. So we're in a house. I have air conditioning going. I have the lights on. I'm talking to you guys on the internet, right? And I have my cell phone and I can look stuff up at the press of a button and I can do all these things and I can go to the grocery store, which is 2 minutes away, and I can do this and that and the other. But, you know, what if the AC goes off? How can I adapt to that? How can I, you know, adapt to the changes that are going on around me? Most people, you know, they always joke, when the AC goes, I'm dead, this kind of thing, you know, or whatever. And like, it's funny, you know, like you want to joke and that's fine. You know, that's how some people release stress or whatever. But, you know, adapting is the number one way that we will continue to move forward in no matter what situation. If you had these exact plans that this is going to go today, but then everything fall apart, but you can't adapt and fix it and just move on and try to figure out another way to do, you know, whatever plans you had. I mean, you're just not going to do those plans. You're not going to do anything. Everyone's going to be unhappy and sad and mad or whatever. You know what I mean? So adapting, I think, is just.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot more difficult with children, and I don't have children, so I don't.
I don't think so. Honestly, I think it's. I think kids are more adaptable than adults.
Well, yeah, and especially your kids, because you've been doing this stuff and you've had to move and all of that, right? So
yeah,
you know what?
Kids are very resilient.
I think most people. All right, scratch that. Most people in the prepper community are adaptable. At least I would hope so. You know, I know that the transitioning from this to the outdoors scares a lot of people. I think a lot of people will will come out fine. I mean, like, again, I've done, and even with Hudson Valley, Mike, we slept out in below freezing temperatures just to see if we can do it. Shits and giggles, which I'm telling you right now sucks.
Yeah.
It does
Um,
suck.
Yeah,
It really sucks.
but it's good to get yourself out there and see what your body is capable of doing. The problem is a lot of people, push come to shove, they just don't know, and the time to find out is not when the shit is on. It's not when you have to run or you have to get into that gunfight or whatever it is. That's not the time to find out whether or not you can shoot, whether or not you can brave the cold, whether or not you can adapt to the heat. You need to train your body and your mind in all of this. Like you guys are talking about, you were talking about adapting. Adapting is what you call. But I think a lot of people can adapt. And listen, man, those that don't, fuck them. They're gone. I mean, unfortunately, the world wasn't made for everyone to survive in a survival situation. For now, yes, but if it came down to, I don't know, an EMP, you know exactly how many people are going to, not exactly, but you know that a lot of people are not going to make it because they just weren't built to do it and they weren't meant to. For those of us in this community, we were meant to because we see the writing on the walls of a lot of the shit, a lot of the bullshit. So again, we'll get. I'm convinced the prepper community will get through a large portion of whatever's coming. I think the rest of the world will adapt, and then there'll be those that just can't, and then they won't make it.
Yeah,
it's like anything else. I mean, there are people who were killing themselves during COVID because they couldn't adapt to what was going on.
Yeah,
You had families, what you call it, murder suicides. Those jumped up dramatically because people couldn't adjust to what was going on. So I think a lot of us will be fine. But all right, ladies, last not question, but more like a statement. This is your time to, I guess, what they call it, self promotion, if you will. All right, and we're going to start with Morgan, move in the opposite direction. Anything you want to promote, anything you want to, talk about, now's your time.
Yeah, just come follow me on my YouTube and website and Instagram. It's pretty much the only places I'm at. And just search Rogue Preparedness. But I know there's a few of you here I'm not subscribed to, and I'm on my way to subscribe to you guys. So, but
very good.
I watch your stuff on Instagram too all the time. Your little shorts.
Yeah,
right.
She's funny, folks. She's funny on the Instagram.
Head over to her Instagram. Her Instagram is off the hook. It's actually good. I get a kick out of a lot of her Instagram posts. So head over to Rogue Preparedness' YouTube channel and her Instagram as well. Do you guys have TikTok? Please say no.
No, I don't.
No.
Thank you. See that you guys proved it. TikTok for people with low IQs. Thank you.
Well, it's like 15-second brain stuff. Yeah. And honestly, it was highly addictive when I first did it. This was a couple of years ago. Yeah. So I do actually have some funny TikToks from a long time ago. But I don't have time for TikTok.
I can't
really have time for
YouTube
right now.
I felt like if I watch TikTok, I should be looking at a glass window on a short bus somewhere.
Right. Don't forget you got to free cheeseburgers.
But sorry, Autumn Backyard, you're up.
Okay. Well, I haven't uploaded in 2 days because I've been sick, but I'll be back at it tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'm doing a radio interview with Eric tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning.
All right. Very good.
Yeah. So, other than that, everything will be back to normal tomorrow. And if anybody is in here, from my community and everything, if you didn't receive the newsletter yet, email me and I'll get it out to you. And I need more recipes for next month's cookbook. So.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Autumn Backyard Garden, guys. She has a newsletter. You have a website, right?
No.
No website.
No.
So I guess they have to go through They have to go through your channel.
Just email me. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just like she said, email her. What is your email? You got to say your email on here.
Oh, it's butterfly030807 @gmail.com.
Hope you guys got that because I didn't. But
Is that-
Probably on her about.
I'll replay it. I'll replay it again. I'm slow like that. When it comes to numbers, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. Did you like the August newsletter that I sent you? The August newsletter.
yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I did. They're pretty, they're snazzy, organized. I like it.
Thank you.
I like it. So it's pretty cool. Carbon Cube, you're up.
Carbon Q on YouTube. Same thing. Carbon Q. Usually catch me on Saturday around 3:30.
All right, and Northern Girl, I know you have a lot to promote. Yes, no.
Well, I got all kinds of stuff to promote, and I've been chastised because I sell stuff. Yes, I do sell stuff. I sell Avon. I've been selling it for 10 fucking years. And it's like, oh, Jennifer, Northern Girl Hobby, she sells too much stuff. My dad got me into sales when I was a kid. So, yeah, I sell Avon. I have an Avon channel, and I have the Pug Life with Stitch and Scarlet Berry channel, too. I think they have 64 subscribers.
I love your channel over there.
They're freaking cute. They're
adorable.
Cute. I got a lot more content in the works. I had a mishap with my laptop where I took it camping and I plugged it into the generator and I screwed up my charging port. So I have like max 2 hours on the laptop. So editing videos, it's going to be happening. We went on a really cool fishing trip in a Sherp. If you guys don't know what a Sherp is, it floats on the water. It goes everywhere. It's the ultimate bug out vehicle. So we went with one of our older friends. So that video will be coming soon. So a lot more stuff that's already been filmed. I just have to piece it together and edit it and keep doing all the stuff in between. Right. So yeah, cool. Come check me out.
Very
And
good.
shop from my Avon store because there's stuff for dudes and there's prepping stuff that you can stock up.
Yeah, skin's so soft.
Right?
Sure.
Skin's so soft, non-fluoride toothpaste. I could go on and on. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Prepping by Faith, you're up.
Okay, I'm Prepping by Faith. I'm on YouTube. I do have a Gmail account. It's preppingbyfaith1985@gmail.com. You can email me there. And I've been sticking to a Monday, Wednesday, Saturday content. And then I also do live streams on Friday. So I've been doing those about 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm not going to be doing one this Friday because it is my youngest birthday this weekend. So we're going to be celebrating that. But I will go back to doing that again the following week. So
Very good. All
You
right.
keep
Well,
a good schedule, girl. I'm very random. I'm on like Indian time, I call it.
yeah, same
Yes.
here.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
being
all over the place.
racist.
Yeah. Except the live streams. Everything else, I release my videos when I fucking want. But with that, guys, I do appreciate you guys joining me. This was actually fun.
Thank you.
You guys want.
thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah,
so
Thanks.
much.
Appreciate you.
It's been fun
This
hanging
is
out,
much
ladies.
needed.
Well, yeah, this was a good time. So I do have another group of women coming on probably later this month. Wait a second. No, next month, and I'll get the time right so that everybody comes on at the right time. Other than that, guys, I do appreciate you guys joining me today. Mods, thank you for handling the assholes that are out there today. And guys, thank you for joining us as always.
Thanks,
Right, guys? Later.
Everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
We'll be your
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.